Hello. Today we discuss about Linux. So Linux is an operating system like other operating system, Windows, Android. Linux is also an operating system. So instead of Microsoft Windows, we can even use Linux. So today we discuss some of the features, component, different types of Linux in this video. So first we start with about Linux. So Linux is one of popular version of Unix operating system. So earlier Linux is known as Unix operating system. Later on it will be renamed as Linux. It is an open source as its source code is freely available. Linux is actually called or very popular for this feature only, that it is a open source operating system. Open source means its source code are freely available, which will be not in case of our Windows operating system. And most of the Linux operating system are free to download, so you can use it for free. Linux was designed considering Unix compatibility. It is compatible with various software that are used in other operating system. Similarly, its functionality list is quite similar to that of Unix. That means it's just we can say that Unix operating system will be later known as Linux. So their functionality, their characteristics, most of the things are similar with Unix operating system. So next we discuss about the component of Linux system. So basically Linux operating system has three components. So first one will be called as kernel. So kernel is the main or core part of the Linux. It is responsible for all major activities of the operating system. It consists of various modules and it interacts direct with the underlying hardware. Kernel provides the required abstractions to hide low-level hardware details to system or application programs. That kernel is known as the heart of the Linux operating system. That means the main control part will be lying with the kernel. Then the second component is system library. System libraries are special functions or programs using which application programs or system utilities access kernel features. So through that system library only, the users can use the kernel operating system or interact with the kernel operating system. Kernel part of the Linux operating system. These libraries implement most of the functionalities of the operating system and do not require kernel modules code access right. So to access the system library, we normally don't need the kernel permission. Next, third component is the system utility. System utility programs are responsible to do the specialized individual level tasks. Like every utility has their predefined tasks and they are responsible for their particular tasks. So these three, kernel, system library and system utility, are the main component of Linux system, as you can see in the diagram. Next we discuss the basic features of Linux. So here we discuss 7 basic features of Linux. So first one is portable. Portability means a software can work on different types of hardware in same way. Like Linux kernel and application program supports their installation on any kind of hardware platform. This is one of the basic and most useful features of Linux. Then number 2, another important and unique feature of Linux is open source. Linux source code is freely available and it is community based development project. That means different group can develop different project using that open source. Multiple teams work in collaboration to enhance the capability of Linux operating system and it is continuously evolving. So that is the second feature of the Linux. Third feature is multi-user. Linux is a multi-user system, means multiple users can access Linux system resources like memory, RAM, application program at the same time, which make them a multi-user. Then fourth basic feature is multi-programming. Linux is a multi-programming system, means multiple application can run at the same time. Then number 5 feature of Linux is hierarchical file system. Linux provides a standard file structure in which system files or user files are arranged so that through the operating system one can easily access that files. Then another unique feature of Linux is shell. Linux provides a special interpreter program which can be used to execute commands of the operating system. It can be used to do various type of operations, call application programs, etc. And the last feature is security. Linux provides user security using authentication features like password protection, control access to specific files, encryption of the data for the security reason. So these 7 are the basic features of Linux. Next we discuss the architecture of Linux. As you can see in the diagram, the Linux architecture has some different layers. The first layer is your hardware layer. So hardware layer consists of all the peripheral device like RAM, hard disk, CPU, etc. Next is the most important part of the Linux is the kernel. It is the core component of the operating system and interact directly with hardware, provides low-level services to upper layer components. We already discussed that kernel in the previous part. Then next is your shell, an interface to kernel hiding complexity of kernel functions from users. The shell takes command from the user and execute kernel's function. And the fourth is your utilities. Utility programs that provide the user most of the functionalities of an operating system. So these 4 are the main layer of the architecture of Linux. So after architecture, there are actually different flavors of Linux, or we can say different distribution of Linux. So here we discuss some of the different types of Linux operating system. Number 1 is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is probably the most well-known Linux distribution, which is used mostly in the institute or office. Ubuntu is based on Debian, but it has its own software repositories. The Ubuntu project has a focus on providing a solid desktop experiences. It offers release every 6 months with a more stable LTS. LTS means long term support release on every 2 years. That means Ubuntu can update their software in every 6 months, and the major updates done on every 2 years. Ubuntu is currently working on expanding the Ubuntu distribution run on smartphones as well as the tablets along with the PCs. Then number 2 is Linux Mint. Mint is a Linux distribution built on top of Ubuntu. It uses Ubuntu software repositories, so the same packages are available on both. Originally, Mint was an alternative distribution loved mainly because it included media codes and proprietary software that Ubuntu did not included by default. This distribution now has its own identity. Then number 3 is Debian. Debian is an operating system composed only of free open source software. The Debian project has been operating since 1993, over 20 years ago. This widely respected project is still releasing new version of Debian, but it's known for moving much more slowly than the distribution like Ubuntu or Linux Mint. This can make it more stable and conservative, which is ideal for some system. Number 4 is Fedora. Fedora is a project with a strong focus on free software. Unlike Ubuntu, Fedora does not make its own desktop environment or other software. Instead, the Fedora project uses upstream software, providing a platform that integrates all the upstream software without adding their own custom tools or patching it too much. Fedora is sponsored by Red Hat and is the foundation for the commercial Red Hat Enterprise Linux project. And the number 5 is CentOS, or we can say most commonly known as Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Red Hat Enterprise Linux is a commercial Linux distribution intended for servers and workstation. It is based on the open source Fedora project, but is designed to be a stable platform with long-term support. Red Hat uses trademark law to prevent their official Red Hat Enterprise Linux software from being redistributed. However, the core software is free and open source. CentOS is a community project that takes the Red Hat Enterprise Linux code, removes all Red Hat's trademarks, and make it available for free use and distribution. So these 5 are the different distribution of Linux. Like that, there are lots of various other distributions are also available, but these 5 are the most popular one. Next, we discuss about the calendar command in Linux. So first of all, to display the calendar of the current date based on the system date, you have to go to the terminal and type CAL. So once you press enter, it will display the current month calendar based on the system date as you see in the screen. So in the screen it will be showing the March month calendar of 2019, and as the system date is marked as 11 March, so that will be highlighted. Then to print the current year calendar, you have to type CAL-Y. Once you type CAL-Y, it will display the current year whole calendar in the output. If you want to display the calendar of a particular year, not the current year but the another year, then you have to type CAL-Y, give a space, then you have to provide that particular year. Like shown in the slide, it will be CAL-Y 2020. Then it will display the 2020 calendar in the output, where the current month and the date is highlighted. Next, if you want to print a particular month of the current year, then you have to write CAL space -M, then you have to write the month. Month you can write in character as well as in the number. So if you want to write in a character, then you have to provide the first 3 character of the month. Like if you want to print the June month, then CAL-M, then you have to write JUN. After JUN, whatever you write, that will be skipped by the compiler. So if you write JUNE, it will print the June month. If you write JUNTA, Junta, then also it will print the June month only, because it will only consider the first 3 character, and based on that first 3 character it will print the month. Similarly, if you want to print of a month of a particular year, not the current year but another year and another month, then you have to provide the month as well as the year. Month you can provide both in alphabet as well as in the number. Like if you want to print the June month of 2017, then there are 2 options. You can provide CAL-JUN, that is a compulsory one. After that, whether you want to write or not, that's not necessary, space the year 2017 or whatever year you want to write. That is one way. And another way is CAL, you can provide the number. June means the 6th month, so you have to write 6 space then the year. Then also it will give the same output, June month calendar of 2017. So the both way you can do. There is an option in the Linux where you can print 3 months. The 3 months means a month, say current month, the previous month and the next month. Say the current month is say March, then it will print February as well as April. For that, you have to provide CAL-3. If you give CAL-3, it will give the current month, previous month and the next month. So as I said, say our current month is March, then it will print February, March, April, both 3 months. If you want a particular 3 months, not the current one, then you have to provide CAL-3 that particular month and the particular year. Say for example, if you give CAL-3 June 2017, then it will print June 2017, May 2017 as well as the July 2017. So June is considered as the main month, so it will print the previous as well as the next month of the mentioned month in the command. So these are the some of the useful options that with the calendar command. Now we discuss another command that is the one of the useful command of Linux, that is the ls command, or we can say listing command. So with ls we have numerous options, but out of that we'll consider some 10 options which are most commonly used with ls. So first of all, if we just type ls in the terminal, then ls with no option lists files and directories in bare format, where we won't be able to view details like file type, size, modified date and time, permission and link, etc. It will only list the names of the files and directories with no option. Next, if we give ls with -l option, small l option, then ls-small l shows file or directory size, modified date and time, file or folder name and the owner of the file and its permission. The everything that -l means the long listing. So it will show the maximum characteristics of all the file and directory that are present in the home directory. Then thirdly, if we give -a, that means ls-a will show all the hidden files along with the normal file and directories, and the hidden files are starting with dot. So with -a we can print the hidden files also, and we can identify the hidden file with that dot value. Then number 4, if we want to list files with human readable format, then we have to provide the option -lh. Both are small l and small h. With this combination, it will show the sizes, the file sizes in a human readable format. That means the sizes will be shown in KB, MB, GB, etc. Then the 5th is, if we want to identify, want to distinguish between the file, directory, executable file or link file, then we have to use ls-F. If we use ls-F, then it will add the / character with every directory, then that asterisk with at the end of all executable file, and @ symbol at the end of link file. So if we give ls space -F, then / will be added with the directory, asterisk symbol with executable file and @ symbol at the link file. So that is one of the option. And if you want to list the files in reverse order, then you have to give the option -r. So ls space -r will display the file and directories in a reverse order. That means it will be normally in a alphabetical way from A to Z. It will be reversed. Then if you want to print the files in a reverse output order, then you have to give the option ls space -ltr. So LTR will choose the latest modification file or a directory date as last. That means the current modified file will be in the last and the old modification file at the first. Then next option is if we want to sort the files with file size, then the option is -l, small l and capital S. Small l and capital S along with ls will display the file size in order, will display big in first and the small at the last. Then number 9, display inode number of file or directory with -i. So if we give ls space -i, then it will provide the inode number of that file and directory. Then if you want to see the latest version of ls command, then you have to write ls space -version. So -version will provide the latest version that are used currently in the Linux. Lastly, if you want to see the list in row wise, then the option is -x. So ls -x will get the output list as row wise. So these 11 are the options that mostly use with ls. So other than that 11 option, we have more than 50 other options that are available. And if you want to see that, users have to type man space lx. It will provide a list of all the currently available options in the Linux with ls command. So out of that, these are some important that we discuss here.